Welcome back. With such an eminent and well-informed person around, we have been talking about Brexit, and he is very much into it. He has been talking about it, he has been studying it, and he has been writing about it. So let's go back to him. And he was mentioning that a lot of people want to come, and immigration was the main problem, that people wanted to leave European Union. I don't blame them, that kind of thinking, you see, but having voted, having responded to leave Europe, now I think that our future lies with Europe. Anyway.
Well, as you were saying, I was basically want to respond to why do many people want to come to Europe? There are two main reasons. One is people who migrate do not do it they may move further.
Right.
That's one. Where Britain is concerned.
You mean move further in life?
Further in life, which might mean further migration. You're talking about the European migration. But the whole thing, it's wrong not to be accepting migrants. I know there are limits, I understand. I'll say why it's wrong. You're talking about Britain in its pomp and splendor. Why did you have an empire? Why were you living on someone else's wealth? Why were you making, glorifying only the crown and the flag? And once you had to leave all these colonies, did you not expect that people will come back? You gave...
People will follow you.
Will follow you. The other thing is, I'll give you the example in the 80s in Uganda. You mentioned meeting the Ugandan...
Idi Amin, yes.
Idi Amin, the dictator. But what did it happen? I forget the figures, but a huge group of people, Asian people,
yep,
had British nationality and came to the UK.
Yep.
And let's check and see, they all worked hard.
His measures were really good for the Asian community.
Excellent.
Who would have been living in Uganda for the rest of so many generations, but they were given a chance to come here, and they have progressed so well.
They've come here and they've all been success stories. Yep. And people of Britain have been left behind. And people of Britain are not used to doing certain tasks, works. Perhaps they find it menial, or I don't know, they just don't want to do these things. So who will do it for you?
But this is a generalization. This is what work. I mean, I have seen road sweepers, I have seen plumbers, painters, cleaners, even people who do the road repairs. They're mostly people from here. Obviously, obviously, there is a limit. I mean, somebody when he is 60 years or 70 years old, he would not go and do some manual work. Yes, that's understandable.
He's physically not able to do that. I agree to that. But if you talk about plumbers, you're talking about an era when they were predominantly here. But today, you will, if you're looking for a plumber, you will find the Eastern European or a person of African extraction or Asian extraction. Yep. And mind you, they are wealthy people. You see, they're doing very well here. Any kind of profession, they can do very well. I know some people who want, Asian families take pride in education, higher education, who weren't very successful in school and others. So later on in life, in their 20s, they went into a college course, went into level 1, 2, 3, up to 5 in plumbing. And today they are installing bathrooms in buildings,
Yep,
doing
yes,
the
sir.
plumbing work, not fixing taps. If you call him to fix a tap,
Yeah, and that's
he'll charge you £100 for a 20-minute job.
just the call-out charge.
You see, and you won't be at all happy.
Right,
You see, but they are doing so much more and they're earning so much more.
Yep.
This is one example. Similarly with people who are sort of bricklayers.
So the conditions are very conducive here. Conditions are such that people with desire, with ideas, and with opportunities, they can make money.
Yes, exactly. They can, and you have to be also hardworking, enterprising.
Right.
There's a bit of talent in everything, you see.
Yes.
You know, a good plumber will go around and say, no, the problem is here.
Yep.
This is the leak,
Yep.
where it's bothering the neighbors. So he's not going to open everything up, break bathrooms and others. He'll be able to pinpoint that.
Right.
You see, so this is where more technical knowledge in plumbing is where the water is coming, where the water outlets
Well,
are.
that goes for any profession. I mean,
Any
when
profession,
you go to
too.
a doctor's, see, then there are doctors and then there are doctors, you see. In law, I mean, you go to a lawyer, you see, he would like to keep your file active, you see.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he gets a chance to charge you more. He never closes a case. Well, this is true, but the important thing is, you know, I gave you sort of higher professions like lawyers and accountants and various other things, legal firms, better educated people from Asian and African communities are advancing in the UK, are contributing to the UK economy in the forms of taxes.
Right.
You see, I can proudly say what I get in my pension pot today is lower than what my son pays in taxes per month.
True.
He pays much higher taxes.
True.
His earnings are also very high, and so on and so forth. But this is how people do well, and this is how they contribute to the economy.
Yep.
And his NI is so much high. I'm sure because of him, say 100 others' health problems are being looked after. Just not me, but various other things.
Well, we move on to, I mean, my point was that this is an island, see, and it can take only X number of people, see. That is the point, see. I mean, United States of America is it's a very big country, large country. They've got unpopulated areas, miles after miles, see. Hundreds of miles, see. You can drive along from one state to another. They have a space, see. They have a room for development. We don't have that kind of room.
See, America, Canada, and Australia, being big countries, unlike Canada, I don't think Australia is all that migrant-friendly. Neither is the United States of America. Just look at the present President of America. He wants to build a wall in the southern border of the United States, which is going to cost $5 billion.
The joke is that he wants to build a wall and the Mexicans want to build a ladder long enough to come over.
Yes.
But that's just a joke. We would, I mean, I know that the people in this country would like to welcome people from the other countries, and they come over, they bring in their experience, they bring in the wealth of their culture, language, cuisine and all that, and we have done very well, see. But again, my point is, we have a cup. We can't put 5 liters of water in this. No. It will spill over and cause problems, you see.
Well,
that is the point. That is what caused a lot of people to go for Brexit at the referendum.
Yes,
that was the point.
The important thing is, you see, you also have what Britain is failing to do at the moment is being able to export goods and services in the form of people.
Right.
They can do services by remote control.
Right.
But goods and services going out there, you see, even if, you know, there's so many things called hardship posts for Western countries.
Yep.
And if you go to a hardship post, you save so much money. And you come back very wealthy because you are funded by some international agency like the World Bank or one or two or UN agencies or various other big multinational conglomerates that have you. But I don't think wanting to go outside, the desire to get ahead, I think what is happening is, I notice in the last two generations growing up, I don't think the spirit of adventure which you would prevail up to the 1950s from UK is there. If we look into our subcontinent, there was a time when there were around 100,000 people from the United Kingdom serving the crown, starting from the Governor General to whatever you have.
But then things are not the same. You see.
No.
Things keep changing.
You see, while
one
the world
nation
is getting
goes up,
smaller,
the other nation comes down.
You see, while the world is smaller, these were the people, you know, being an island, these were seafaring people, so they were willing to go out in ships. And this is how, in many ways, they conquered the world.
Right.
You see, but once that diminished, I don't know what else diminished with it, you see. So
well, once you have achieved, you have reached the pinnacle, once you have achieved so much, you see, then you can only go up to that far, see, and then just gloating on that, the Raj days and this and that, you see, the younger generation is not interested in that anymore, see. They are more practical, see. Again, come back to this. The world is a much smaller place now, see. Now, sitting here, we can do a lot of things that does not need our presence in another country.
Yes.
See.
Yes. So, well, go for it. You have to go, if you want to leave, you have to leave with courage. You have to leave with determination. Right. You have to leave with a certain amount of foresight. But what am I going to do next?
Right. Suppose we have left the European Union. How is it going to affect your life, my life, in an ordinary person's life, you see? They say that the supermarkets will not have enough food on their shelves, you see, because we get most of the food that comes from Europe, see. The price will go up, the fuel will cost more, transport will cost more. This scenario,
why?
Is it going to happen?
This is, you know, this is being a bit of a devil's advocate. Why? Why can't you trade with the rest of the planet?
They will.
You see, and why don't you simultaneously also take measures?
But that's what they have been doing before they joined the EU, isn't it?
Well, look, initially they weren't a part of the EU. They joined in forcefully. They abandoned the Commonwealth, totally abandoned them. The Commonwealth Secretariat today, in my opinion, is a bit of a farce.
Yep.
And you did everything.
It's just an old boys' club.
Yes, and turning out to be an old wives' tale, basically, you see. So, if you have decided to leave, go for it yourselves, produce it. Yes, initially there'll be hardships, but I don't think UK will be affected as badly as they, they feel they will.
Do you remember that we were sold completely lies? Like, you remember there's 350 million pounds we are giving to the EU, and Mr. Boris Johnson would be on the bus and trying to convince everybody. Most of the people were convinced, so save our money. We can invest it in NHS. Well, on this point, we'll come back again to this point after this very short break. Thank you for being with us. We need to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll pick up the same thread. Thank you. Bye.